Every time I come in the kitchen, you in the kitchen, in the goddamn refrigerator.
I sure am hungry.
Yo, welcome back to the Morning Dinner Podcast. Today we got our man Tylor Thuirer.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Bro, so explain to me how your last name is spelled, but how you actually pronounce it, because that was interesting.
All right. So it's pronounced Thuirer.
Yeah.
But it's spelled Thuirer.
See, when I first heard it, I was like, Tylor Thuirer.
Thuirer, yeah.
Yeah,
Man,
Thuirer.
all my life, it's always been Thuirer from everyone, and it just gets to a point where you answer to it,
Yeah.
But then, it's funny, when I was growing up, before the day of cell phones, caller ID and all that shit.
Yeah.
Anytime someone called the landline, you always knew it was a telemarketer when they couldn't say your last name, So it was, so my parents told me, hey, if someone calls, they don't know how to say the last name, it's a
damn,
that's
low-key genius.
So
nobody knows my last name.
Literally,
See,
someone asked for my parents. I didn't ask no questions. Oh, you can't say their last name? Hang up.
I don't know if you have do you have AT&T?
Verizon.
Okay, well, on AT&T, there's this feature on your phone now. When somebody calls you, it's called Call Protect.
Uh-huh.
So if you download it from the Apple Store, you can if somebody calls you and you don't have their number saved, it'll try to guess who it is, or if it says like, or if you have like if it's like a suspected scammer or spam, it'll say suspected scam, telemarketer.
That's cool.
And that's pretty dope. Like, I downloaded it the other day. My brother told me about it, and I was like, dang.
Yeah, I just don't answer any numbers I don't have saved. If it's important, they'll leave a voicemail.
I was
100%.
I was the same way, but then I thought about like how much freelance I was losing.
Okay, yeah,
because my number gets passed around, and I'm just like, a lot of people don't leave voicemails.
I mean, they can text.
That's true. That's true.
We're in a day where everyone's like main number's a cell phone. I'm like, let's just pop it into my text message real quick. If it turns blue, they have an iPhone. Perfect. You know what I mean?
You know what's crazy is even crazier than that is the fact that your DM is like your new phone number.
100%.
Like, if you want business from me, like if you want me to do a shoot with you, like DM me.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even just text me, call me, email me. It's like DM me.
Dude, I barely check my email. I check my business email. We'll get into this later, but I only check my business email for one or two contacts, that like regularly send me work. Yeah. Other than that, I just get a bunch of spam, a bunch of like Adobe little newsletters, things like that.
What you have to do is you have to go to unroll.me.com, or I think it's just called unroll.me. It's a website that basically you log in with your Gmail, and it lets you it looks at all the subscriptions that you're subscribed to, like email wise, like all the newsletters, and you just select them all and you just unroll. It unsubscribes you from all of them.
Is it only Gmail though, or can you do because I have like 3 different Hotmail accounts?
I'm not sure.
You got Hotmail?
Yeah, dude,
bro, you got Hotmail?
That shit's from 2003, 2004. Back in my Facebook, Facebook first started, MySpace days. I never used I used Yahoo for I probably had a bunch of burner Yahoo accounts, because that's what it was in the day. But then I went to Hotmail. This is before Gmail came out, so I was all about that Hotmail.
What was the first emails that came out? Like, I remember it was at AOL, at MSN, at Yahoo.
Yeah. You had,
because I had all of them.
Do you remember? It was I want to say it was like Rocket Mail or something like that, where you can customize, you can change all. They had all the different domains or whatever, dude.
I never. No.
Whoa, I never got that deep in. I think the deepest I got was AOL. I don't know if it was the first, but for sure, that was one of the OGs.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was Rocket Mail or what exactly it was called, but you could go in, you do your first part, and then everything after the ampersand, they had 4 or 5 different custom ones that you could choose from, and that was my jam for a little bit, making all my RuneScape accounts, and shit.
RuneScape. Let's go, dog.
Dude, middle school, man, that was my life.
Yo, did you ever play MapleStory?
I never got into it. All my friends did.
You already know, dog. I'm Asian, so I got on everything, dog.
I had 3 or 4 really close friends who were deep into MapleStory. I could never get into it. I don't know if it was just graphic wise. It just, I don't know, because it's all you play parallel, right, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, 2D. The platform.
I was super. I'm gonna expose myself, and you already know, bro. I was super into Toontown. You ever heard of Toontown?
Never heard of that one.
Okay,
either.
so Disney used to have this online. Was it MMORPG? It was a role playing. It was a role playing game where it was for the time. I was like, oh, dude, this is advanced. I'm like a 3D character in this world, and I could walk around wherever I wanted to. It was one of the earlier games. It was it was 2002, 2003. I was 12, 13 years old, and I played it up until junior year of high school. Damn. And periodically I would go back. But anyways, it died in 2000. 2007. I guess Toontown decided to shut down because they weren't making enough money from it. But bro, I would be on that.
Was it like a was it listed on like addictinggames.com or like Fetch Fido?
No,
those sites?
You actually so this was a Disney game that you had to have first of all, I was like you had to be 18 to have an account, so I had to have my parents sign up for it. But you basically went on like Toontown.com or something or from the Disney website, and you had to pay $100 a year to be able to play it.
What?
$100 a year.
Pay to play? What the fuck is that?
And you had to download, and you had to download the actual browser window or whatever that was, because it wasn't like a you can open up a tab on your computer and play it. You had to download the install.
So it was like a client or whatever.
Yeah, client.
It was like Camelot, WoW, or any of the EverQuest. I almost fell off camera. Y'all seen it. But I was gonna say, you probably seen the fucking commercials. It's like these dudes getting like pied, and that's like the gimmick with it all.
Yeah.
But
okay. So let me explain.
Wait. Go. Should we start the podcast?
We're live. This is the podcast. But remember, before anything, Tyler, there's a conversation. And it's conversation time.
Sorry.
So the whole game was basically you created a tune. It could be any character, like a dog, mouse, chicken, I think, whatever it was, a bear. And you basically had to you had gags that you threw at cogs, which were like the corporate business, suits and everything.
Stick it to them.
And you could level up and everything. It was just a dope game, man. It took a big chunk of my life. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I've never heard of it,
bro.
Never.
It was that and Neopets.
Oh shit, Neopets.
Oh shit.
All right, so let's enough getting sidetracked.
All right.
Let's get back to the story here. Hey. Tylor Thuirer.
Yeah.
You are a Las Vegas based, right?
Las Vegas based now. Yeah. But
photographer and videographer.
Photographer, videographer, and I do other things on the side.
So tell me real quick, how did you get started in photography? Like, what pushed you to?
So really, it was around 2011. Okay, wait. Let me go back further than that. Actually, so growing up in high school, and my group of friends, we always were interested in filming ourselves, doing stupid shit, jackass type shit, and so I had a little a mini DV tape camcorder, and I was always the guy. I never wanted to get hurt, so I was like, you know what, you guys do the stunts, I'll just film it, and then I'll put it on tape, and then we'll watch it, and it'll be fucking cool, So I started doing that, and I would just record us, doing stupid shit, stuff that you look back now, and it's like, why did we film that? It wasn't even that cool, running down a hill and tripping yourselves, whatever. But anyway, so that's where my first love for cameras kind of started, and that was YouTube had just come out, so 2005, somewhere around there, I think 2005, 2006.
Yeah.
And then that led to doing I wanted to then start doing little short films. So we wrote this little skit or whatever, and we filmed it, put it on YouTube. Basically it was the whole premise. It was called Mustard Deli, and basically the main character was a mustard bottle who was a don of a mafia. And the whole episode he kills people and whatnot. He kills a Mormon too. But yeah, it gets deep. But anyways, so that's the first early stuff or whatever. And then from now I was I want to go to film school. It's really cool. Well, I wanted to do that, and that was the plan up until senior year, and then I kind of took a career path change with my senior project. I ended up getting into the fire service type stuff, and so that kind of I'm gonna go do the fire service now instead of going to film school.
What's the fire service?
Be a firefighter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I figured.
Yeah, firefighter.
Hey, real quick before anything, you watch CKY?
Yeah. Oh, I know of it. Also, so Jackass and Bam.
Yeah, because those
Bam
are
show.
the OGs of Jackass.
Yeah.
Because that's what I got started into because I was into skating and all that. So I was
So I never actually watched any of the CKY guys. I just knew of them through Jackass and Bam Margera's show. Viva La Bam, things like that. But anyway, so then, so then went to school for all the to be a paramedic, went to the fire academy, yada yada, and that was gonna be my life, I still had a small interest in making videos here and there, but then in 2011 or so, after I graduated, I moved out. That's when I moved out here to Vegas, and one of my best friends I was living with, he was a drummer. And he just came up to me. He's like, "Hey man, let's do some drum cover videos. I want to put them on YouTube." I'm like, "All right, we can do stuff like that." And I had at the time I'd bought a T1i when I was in college, but I never used it. I didn't know how to use the damn thing. I could shoot on auto,
Yeah.
But other than that, I didn't know how to use it. I was like, I'll go buy a tripod. We'll set this up. We'll do some cool angles. I already had like a small like little basic knowledge in using Sony Vegas, to edit.
Yes. Sony Vegas all day.
So we started with that.
Seems like everybody got started in Sony Vegas, man.
Well, Sony Vegas or Final Cut.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those are like the two main.
No,
Premiere wasn't even in the running.
Nope.
Nothing. So then started with like the drum covers, and then I was like, okay, this is cool. And then I was like, the more we did stuff, I was like, man, I want to get back into doing like photo and video. So at the time I was working for this company doing nuclear medicine stuff, and I had a lot of free time on my hands because I'd only work 3 days a week, and so those other 4 days I'm like, I want to find something else to take up my time. So I was like, I'm gonna go find like a job, or I wanted to find like an internship, like doing video, like someone who would teach me more. So I reached out to a few different places. One of the places I ended up reaching out to is like a wedding company out here, and they brought me in for an interview. Because like, well, we don't really do internships, but if you want to come and interview, maybe you can come join our team. And at this time I still had no idea how to shoot manual. Barely knew how to use my T1i. But I went and interviewed, and they're like, do you know how to... They asked me the questions, like, do you know what aperture is, do you know ISO, do you know how to shoot manual? And I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm like, all right, great. Well,
so
they were like, all right, well...
Fake the fun, fake it till you make it.
Exactly.
Hey.
Dude, so then, like, after I did that, and I found out, like, they're like, all right, come back in, a week, we'll get started, we'll do a little in-house training, with you. And so I went home that night, dude, and like 3 days straight was glued to YouTube, just trying to learn as much as I could about manual controls.
That's crazy.
That's
something
dope.
I live by, bro.
Yeah.
To this day.
YouTube University.
But that, and also like this is what I tell Chuck too, is if a client ever asks you to do something, you don't know it, but you can learn it.
Yeah.
You accept the gig, and you give yourself the time from when you accept the gig to when the gig is to learn everything you have to do.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I did. I learned
crazy.
in those 3 days. Crash course on
Good reflexes, bro.
Crash course though on how to shoot manual. And then so I started doing that a little bit, shooting the weddings, on like 7Ds, and then from that, a big passion of mine was always going to shows, music shows and things like that, rock concerts, and I was like, I wanted to like make music videos and things like that. But at the time I still didn't really know a whole lot of people out here in Vegas, and definitely didn't know anyone in the music scene. So I just randomly started showing up. I'd find these random shows on Facebook, local shows. So I started going, wouldn't talk to anyone, and I'd just go and I'd take photos, because now that I knew how to shoot manually, I'm like, all right, let's do a little bit of practice, but the more I did that, the more, and the further I got into editing and, using Lightroom and things like that, the more I started to love the photo side of things as well. And it really helped me, obviously also hone the skills and for video, doing a lot of manual focus type stuff. And
so in the same realm, like in that same time frame, you were learning Lightroom and all that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's tight. That's tight.
Literally like a little pirated copy, of Lightroom 5.
Yeah, you already know. We all on it.
Yeah. So that's actually how I got into the music photography, because then eventually bands, a bunch of my friends I have now, they started seeing me at the shows a lot with my cameras, and I would send them all the photos I did, and so that slowly led to that side of things, doing all the music photography, which led then to shooting for an online like magazine, zine, or whatever, covering shows and writing reviews, things like that, which then led to bigger things where now I have like management teams reaching out to me like, hey, I have so-and-so artist in town playing at Brooklyn Bowl, playing at House of Blues, playing downtown Las Vegas Event Center, can you go out and shoot them? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, you throw me you throw me an All Access pass, I'll go.
Yeah. So you're like, you primarily wanted to shoot like music videos and do video projects, but but photography was your way into that world. Essentially.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's so
and
dope.
And so the more friends that I befriended in the music scene, like, hey guys, I don't do just photos, I also shoot a bunch of videos. I show them like the shitty ass like drum cover videos I shot in 2012. Like, yeah, let's do something. So that slowly led to that. And just making more contacts in like more photographer friends. And obviously the people I worked with at the first wedding company I worked for, the studio, a bunch of them helped out and things like that. And so that's really where I got started. And nowadays, I mean, I still shoot weddings here and there with my buddy Adam. And I still do.
Do you do the wedding photography or the wedding video?
So when I shoot with my buddy Adam, I do strictly video.
Okay.
And so
So he takes care of the photography, or
yeah, and he takes care of all the business stuff side of things. You know,
Yes.
so the stuff
That's
I
what
never
I like.
wanted to do. You know, so basically I just show up, I shoot, I edit most of the stuff, but I have some really awesome people that work with me, like my buddy Eddie. I got these two guys, Cody's, who are really good. My buddy Alex, Rosemary worked with us for a few times. You know, Rosemary's awesome. That's how me and her became friends.
Rosemary's dope.
Yeah. My buddy Matt, but they all, you know, now they're at the point where they're helping out with edits as well. So weddings, you know, I'm at the point where I don't love doing weddings, you know, but you know, they're still there to.
That seems to be like a recurring thing in Vegas, bro.
You know,
Bro.
dude, you get into it for a couple of years, and then it's like, all right, I'm sick of this. Like,
Well, and it's also like this is what I always preach, bro. Like Vegas is the wedding capital of the world.
Yeah.
But it's like the $99 wedding capital of the world. People want to
So
come
true.
in. They want to come in. They want to get married in like 20 minutes and then like go party and drink. You know what I mean? Like they don't. It's not like New York, New Jersey, where you can have like a $5,000-$10,000 budget for like just the photography or the video. You know, like out here, the what is it? The average cost of a wedding is like $7,000 minimum.
Wait, average
Or
as in
maximum?
drive-through or as in just
No,
the regular
average
wedding and
is
everything?
like they rented a salon. They got their
Yeah,
photographer.
probably even
That's
cheaper
like,
than that, bro.
see, that's
Probably way
where I was
cheaper.
really lucky, because I tell you what, if I had to do a bunch of those at the beginning, I would have got burned out so fast.
Yeah.
I was very fortunate. So the first studio I worked for, you know, they were pretty well established, you know, and so here and there we'd get some really good ones at country clubs, things like that.
Are you allowed to say which studio?
I'd rather not.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
I know a couple of them out here. Me and Chuck used to actually work for Cashman.
Oh,
And
it wasn't Cashman.
we did a
Cashman
lot
all
of-
day? No, I'm
Yeah.
playing.
No, we
Just kidding.
don't.
That shit was super dead, bro. Like,
we would
'cause it
talk
wasn't
shit.
even,
We would talk shit on Cashman.
It
So.
wasn't even
Oh, yeah,
cinematography,
bro.
bro. We were like in the back, behind the scenes, in a closet, controlling like these robot cameras.
Yeah, you ever
That
seen The
were-
Wizard of Oz?
yeah.
Don't look at the man behind the curtain. That was us, bro.
Oh my god.
Literally,
Yeah.
bro.
That's crazy. Yeah, no, like I mean, the studio I worked for him, we were like legit, you know, and
Yeah.
there was a whole team of us, you know, and
Are you still shooting with them?
No. I
Okay.
left them to go and pursue stuff with my old roommate Adam.
Okay.
So at the time when that all happened, Adam had been in the wedding industry for a while now, doing strictly photos. And basically, me and him linked up through shooting music photography. But he was like, "Hey, you know, we'd seen each other at a few weddings. You know, he'd be the photographer, I'd be there with the video team, and so he knew I did a little bit of video on the side. And just one day he came up and he's like, "Hey man, I got this couple. They don't have a really big budget to really go to anyone else, but I figured, you know, I know you do video. Do you want to, you know, go ahead and
Take a
do you
stab
want
at
to
it?
take a stab at it?
Nice.
You know, I'll kick you all the money or whatever. You know, give you a little chance to do your thing, you know, and make a little bit extra cash." And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Let's do it, you know. So I went there, and at that time I had like a little T3i, you know, and I still had my T1i, so I had a little 2-camera setup, you know. It was
Yeah.
a low
Nice.
budget, you know.
That was
because
my first DSLR too.
the
Canon
T3i.
Yeah,
T3i.
mine was T2i.
Oh, okay.
His is T3i.
Damn, it seems
You
like
were
everybody-
OG though. You got
Yeah.
the T1i.
Well, so I got that shit used, man.
that shit wasn't even 60
I got-
FPS. That
yeah.
was just
Oh,
straight
yeah.
30 FPS.
Yeah,
or
it was
some
horrible.
shit like that.
Yeah. But anyways, I
Funny.
did that, and then slowly he just, like my buddy Adam, you know, we rocked it, man, because it gave me a chance to really kind of step out of the cookie cutter way that I was used to doing with the studio, because you know everything had to go through the approval process, and it had to be. You could, if you watched all the videos, you know, from everyone, you could kind of see that they had their way of doing it.
It was a formula.
It was a formula, exactly. So by doing stuff on my own with Adam, you know, he really allowed me and him worked well off each other, really well, like creatively. And so I'd show him an edit, and he'd be like, "Yeah, it's really dope, man. Like, what if you do this? Or what if you move, you know, what if you do some like time shifting stuff, you know, where before time shifting, you know, for me it was like, oh dude, you can't do that in a wedding film, you know, you
Yeah.
can't start with the first dance and then go to the ceremony and then go to toast and then, you know, jump back and forth." But I was like, all right, I'll try it out.
Is time
you know?
shifting the same thing as like time remapping?
No,
where
no,
you,
no.
like,
So
speed it up?
by time shifting, I meant like where you're not doing everything, you're not showing everything chronological. Like
Chronologically.
so
yeah.
you're not showing, you know, the getting ready, then the ceremony, then the
Oh,
first
yeah,
dance,
yeah.
you know, because that's the way it was every time I used to edit, you know, with the old plays. But with him, you know, I was like able to experiment a lot more with like the storytelling side of things, you know. And but anyway, so the more stuff I did with him, and I was making more, and with it being allowing me to be more creative, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do a lot more stuff with this guy, So I made the decision, to part ways with the studio, and so it was just me and Adam, and it was just me and him for a couple months, and then I started bringing in a few second shooters, and assistants to help with my stuff, and slowly we built up our own arsenal, team and equipment, and now here we are 4 years later almost,
Good stuff, man.
But we not to cut you off, but what I was saying with like the smaller budget wedding stuff, I know if I would have done that stuff, I would have gotten burnt out a long time ago. We luckily, like, without him being in the scene for a while before I got involved, he had a lot of connections with a lot of bigger wedding planners with who got the higher budget couples and things like that, and we're you show up and they'd have a whole country club just decked to the walls, like insane, like the insane amount of money. I think one of them we did like a Indian wedding, 2 days, they rented out the Four Seasons, the ballroom 2 days straight, over 500 guests, all catered. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much money in here right now.
You seen those Bollywood weddings?
Yeah.
Like they make it cinematic and everything, dude. Like they make it like a movie,
dude. Yeah. So and then even like these ones, like they brought in like an elephant or whatnot. And, like I was like,
bro, that's your typical Indian wedding though.
Yeah, but like,
if they don't have an elephant, they don't have like a helicopter. You know what I mean? Like
helicopter. Where's the helicopter?
Dude, it was nothing like I'd ever shot before that. I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And actually, Rosemary was on that one too. She's got a funny story about that one, about her.
Shout out to Rosemary. We'll have to ask her that one on the next.
Yeah, definitely.
Fell with her Steadicam on that one, but
she fell.
Yeah, like tripped over.
Oh, typical ass Rosemary.
This was back in the day when Rosemary. Dude, I remember I shot a wedding with Rosemary too. I don't think it was a actual wedding. It was an engagement, I think it was. And she I think this was the first time I had worked with her, and she came through with like the big old vest and everything. This little tiny person like with the big old vest, I'm like, damn, look at you, little badass.
She looks like a little ninja though. She wears all black, with it.
When you see somebody like that, you're like, damn, they're about it. Yeah. They're really about it.
Like, we're getting our money's worth here,
Tight.
But anyways, so that's like kind of like my journey through everything. And then now that we're not doing as many weddings right now. It's kind of a slower season for us. But I've really been able to focus a lot on like doing a lot more portrait work and just exploring different sides of photography. Because
so that kind of leads into like the next question is like, what got you started with portraits? Like, because I've seen your feed. First of all, let's address two different things.
Hey, it worked.
Two different things. You have portraits, you have music, concert photography, but no matter what it is, it's all black and white. Let's elaborate on that real quick.
All right, so the whole black and white thing. I mean, I wish I had like an elaborate answer for this, but
you just like black and white.
Well, so it was one of those things where like, so if you go deep in my feed, I was doing the whole stereotypical. I went through a phase where it was the whole stereotypical teal and orange, look,
teal and orange all day. No, I'm saying. It looks good. It's cool.
But then I was like, I was doing that though just for like because I knew that's what was popular at the time,
Yeah.
And so I did that for a couple months. I'm like, you know what? Like, why am I doing this? So I stopped doing it, and I didn't shoot for a while after that. I was like, I need to find something to re-inspire me, whatever.
Like portraits, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's around the time when I was like just getting into portraits. So then once I started to get back into it, I'm like, I'm gonna get lazy with this. Let's just throw black and white on there, And like the more I played around with like the contrast and stuff, the more and like the grainy looks, the more I kind of felt more drawn to that. And I felt like a lot of photos that I think I would have just thrown away normally because I'm like, oh, this wouldn't look good with the color, I'd throw that bitch in black and white, and I was like, damn, like deep. This is like a whole new photo now.
Yeah,
because he showed me like that's the one thing with Keem, like he showed me this image that he colored and he didn't like it.
Yeah,
and then he put it in black and white, and that completely changed the whole dynamic of it. Like completely, like not even like, oh yeah, it changed it a little bit. It completely like
because when in my opinion, like when you have color in an image, that's one element, but when you completely remove the color from it, your eye is better able to focus on one, the subject, two, the composition, three, the light, where the light's hitting. Like are you seeing what you want to see? Is the color distracting you from that?
And that's what I love about it too, because now the way I see it, is I feel in a lot of the photos I take, I can portray some sort of mood or some sort of feeling.
No, you're dope as feed, bro.
Or play off of the shadows and the highlights a lot more than I could when I was shooting just color. I mean, there's still a lot of stuff I shoot in color. I just don't show it to to the public feed. Like when I have like obviously like professional like paid gigs, I'll send them majority color because that's what people want to see, you know. But then I'll sneak in a few of my black and whites in there. I've actually had people that like I've sent them just black and whites and like, oh, these are awesome. Do you have any color ones? I'm like, sure, I'll do some for you. Just throw a little basic like little preset on them, and send it to them.
You actually enjoy a little bit more. Do you ever feel like you'll start trying something else in the meantime, or do you really like the
so
black
right
and white
now I'm
look
still like deeply in love with the
That's
black
dope,
and white.
man. That's
I'm
dope.
starting to get into that. If you look at my last 3 posts, they were all black and white, bro.
Yeah.
I just feel like when you take away the color, you're just more easily able to focus on the light.
So right now I'm still deeply in love with the black and white.
That's tight.
I still have a lot of like awesome like color presets that I've made through Lightroom that I'll experiment with them here and there, but very seldomly do they get released, but who knows? I mean, I feel like any creative, your style's going to change, as you mature
100%.
and get, craft
The
your
day
skill.
you die, bro, you're forever going to change.
But as of anytime soon, I don't see it changing.
I
just love the black and white.
That's
I've gotten to the point now, like, I know I have my little Fuji camera, and you can shoot in black and white on that thing. Like, it will record, like, the black and white JPEGs or whatever if you want it to. It shoots the RAWs, too, that I usually take. If it's, like, a bigger project, I'll just take the RAWs and convert them. But if it's, like, a little, like, photo walk, I'll just shoot JPEG, shoot it just straight black and white. And, all right, looks good enough to me.
See, I like that.
Instagram story,
Some people are so anal. They're like, we have to do raw all the way. And I get it. Like, if you're really editing every single photo and you are that perfectionist, do you. But in the end of the day, like...
So for me, it comes down to, who's going to see this photo? Where am I going to post this photo? What's this photo for? Like I said, photo walks, or, if I'm just out and about shooting bullshit, I'm like, all right, JPEG is just fine, or if it's only going on like the Instagram stories or whatever.
There's nothing worse than having like 2 terabytes full of just it's the same raw, but like because you shot like 30 frames per second or whatever it was, you shot the same one so many different times. That's why I've gotten off continuous shooting. Unless I'm shooting something that's gonna be like motion, that's like I'm looking for that one specific frame, I'll just do single shooting, and I'll just frame it up, light it up, and then take one shot.
Bro, I can't do that.
I
shoot in continuous all the time. Like, I'll do a 1 hour shoot and end up with like 1,500 images, raw images.
That's a wedding.
That's wild, because I legitimately, I just started getting into continuous photo, and I don't like it because I'm like, damn, I'm gonna have to edit through these. I'm like,
see, I mean, I've gotten like
I'm trying to get the pitch perfect at the right moment, but I usually get blurry shit, so maybe that's my fault. Shit.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to get better. When I got the new Sony, the A7 III, this last like set of shoots I did, I was able to get that down from like 1,400 down to like 500. Jeez. But I have to consciously think about it. All right, slow down. Let's just frame this up. Instead of taking 30 shots, let's try to get 2. But
I did an 8-hour wedding on Saturday, and I ended up with about 1,300 total raws.
Dude.
Yeah. I can't do.
I shoot a 15-20 minute like music set, and I'll end up with like 800.
I can't,
Jesus.
bro.
Yeah. I think the most I've ever come home with, like from like a concert wise,
5,000.
like 2 full cards, 2 32 cards.
See, I'm not lying.
Oh, that's not two 32 gigabytes.
But shooting like full raw. Yeah. So each one would hold about 1,200 photos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So about just over 3,000 negatives, to go home and scroll through. And then when it's
scroll through,
dude. And then sometimes I shoot myself in the foot when I do that though, because like certain management teams are like, hey, we need these up by tomorrow morning. Can you send them that night? Edit and send the night. I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. So then I'm up until 3 o'clock in the morning, sitting there going through everything. And
every tap is a second, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like you start calculating it all. It's like,
dude. And
then did you mean tonight on the East Coast?
Right. I haven't missed a deadline yet, though. At least as far as that goes. Respect. I mean, portrait stuff. If I'm not getting paid for it, I'm like, you guys can wait a little bit.
2 months.
I don't do 2 months. I usually tell them like 2-3 weeks or whatever, and I'll get to them like a week and a half. But.
So let's go back to the where you mentioned earlier is you have a Fuji, right?
Yeah.
You have a Sony, you have a Canon.
Yeah.
You're not tied down to any specific like camera brand or nothing.
Not at the moment, unless someone wants to endorse
He's Nikon all day, y'all.
Fuck Nikon.
Somebody cut the check.
Wait. Why do you not like Nikon?
I'm
just kidding.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's no like real reason, but you throw a Nikon in my hands, and I
have
get
no
so
clue
lost.
what to do. Same here, bro.
Like
I just don't like the way the cameras look, bro. Like I know it's so.
Bro, it looks like a DSLR.
The back looks so weird. I think.
Yeah. The back, the menus, and this coming from a Sony guy, I don't like the menus in Nikon, bro.
And if you know Sony, then you know exactly what he's talking about.
I think if like this is like a common fact, Canon for sure has the best menus.
Oh,
the
yeah,
best
because it's stupid. It's stupid as fuck. It's like, this, and this. Sony has like a trillion things you have to go through. And
but have you guys seen the new
so much.
the new system for the A7 III?
No.
You can set a custom menu. So you only need you can select
that's
the only
bro,
shit you
Remember
need.
we
That's
were
a
talking
firmware-
about that, bro? We
that's
were
a-
like, yo, they should integrate this, and we were like, oh, that'd be a great idea, but
I thought the A7R2 had it when I bought it, and then I was like, bro, like when I first got it, I was going from a 6D Canon 6D to an A7R2.
Yeah.
And I was like, God,
Ooh,
like,
that megapixel jump.
completely, bro.
going from 20 megapixels to
42?
42 megapixels, it double, bro. I was easily able to like crop and just go in 50%. You know what I mean?
You can get like 3 different photos out of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, basically. But what I was saying is that I got the camera going from Canon to Sony. The menu system is completely different because you have so many different options. You can customize every button to do something different on every camera.
That's what I love about Sony.
And this is one thing. It's one thing that it's like a double-edged sword. I love it and I hate it because me and Chuck both shoot on A7R2s. But like if I take his camera, it's
all different.
It's different. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dude, that's so I learned that, and then I was like, for one wedding, I was like, hey, let's rent another Sony, And then it got here, but it was all default, and I'm like, fuck, dude, I don't know how to do anything. All I know is my buttons. So I had to go through like an hour or two before the wedding, go through and
everything.
match it up to mine, so all the C1, C2, C3 was all the same,
That should be like a update for like the next camera, bro.
Like a setting you can save,
or
like a
you can
preset
save
setting,
put it in
the
memory card. No, it's gonna start off like this. You have to save it. You have to save it.
Original.
You're gonna have to save it in the memory card, and you have to put it in. You're gonna have to update the firmware, and then the settings transfer over.
Yeah.
But like in my perfect like dream world, you would take your camera, my camera, like just give it a little tap, like NFC, boom, connect.
NFC, bro. Hell yeah.
That would be tight.
Bitcoin. I hate you so much, bro.
Just put the little triangle, bro, Illuminati.
But yeah. Okay. So the other thing, when you shoot and everything, like what do you think when you shoot something like creatively? Are you inspired off something, or are you emotionally attached to it, or do you just shoot?
So the simple answer is I just shoot. Like going into the shoot, beforehand, I'll try to find inspiration, either through my Instagram feed. I'm constantly using the bookmark feature in the collections, to find inspiration. So I'll kind of like usually, depending on the shoot, I'll if it's like a boudoir shoot that I have coming up or something like that, for that specific person, I'll make a specific collection. I'm like, oh, this might work for this shoot coming up, whether it's, based off wardrobe, setting, poses, things like that. So I kind of have like an idea when I'm going into it, kind of like what I want to capture. Usually once I get into it though, all that goes out the window and I don't even check my phone to look back up like what I saved, I'm just shooting, hey, let's try this.
That's dope. That's super dope.
And then a lot of like my favorite shots and a lot of the shit I post just comes from that, going back to the continuous shooting. I'm just popping off frame and just moving the entire time, like
that's dope.
Low, high, getting down super low. I gotta remember, I got a microphone to talk into. You're good. But everything like that. And so that's simple answers, I just shoot. I'm not really focused on a whole lot, and that sometimes gets me in trouble. The fucking hairbands on the wrist, I don't notice until like the end of the shoot, and they're like, damn it, now I gotta Photoshop all that out, or my settings were off and now I'm underexposed or overexposed. Or
one of my biggest pet peeves is when you're shooting like portraits, right? Like, and you don't notice how much hair is like in a weird place, like you know, like if you have the model with her hand up and then the hair's
you're
coming
so
over.
into it. You're like so into it. Like,
yeah, there's like so many things. Like I have to shoot with like a tablet next to me and then kind of like zoom in and make sure everything's good to go. Otherwise, it's like it's fine because you can always edit it out. Right. But you just make it more work for yourself.
But see, I would like to eventually get a setup like that. Like if I'm doing studio stuff, I think that'd be dope.
Shooting tethered is hard to shoot with a Sony because you have to use Capture One. You can't use Lightroom.
That's weird. I've never even used Capture One, but I've seen other people using it. I'm like, this looks...
Well, let me just share my...
Isn't it unstable, or did they fix that? Because I don't want to say...
Wait, when's the last time you've used it, though? That one time, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't that long ago, and there... Okay, I could be wrong. At the time of this recording, I could be wrong. But the last time I used it, the only way to get it to get Lightroom to notice your camera was, well, you can plug it in. But the thing is, it wasn't built to shoot with Sony. The firmware hadn't come out yet, or if it's even come out yet, you had to basically create a watch folder inside Lightroom. And tell Lightroom, watch this folder. Yeah. So when you shot, you had to use
pop up.
You didn't use the software for Lightroom. You used like a Sony software that came with the camera when you plug it in. Yeah. So when you shoot, it goes into your computer. So the photos go into your computer or your hard drive. Yeah. And then that watch folder would be watched by Lightroom. Yeah. And then Lightroom would then auto import into your...
That just sounds way too...
That sounds like way too much. Like I'm getting ahead of it right now.
But the thing is, if the cable got just a little bit loose or like you moved it, it would shut down the entire like operation, bro. Like you'd have to start all over again. And it just like I tried to do it for a corporate shoot one time and it just did not work out. I felt embarrassed, bro. I was like, damn, sucked. So if you have to shoot Tether Tools has the cable, the orange one.
What have you looked at? What's that? I just saw the guys from F-Stoppers use in a video. It was like a shoot off thing, but it's like it's like goes on your hot shoe and connects to your camera, but then it's like wireless and you can like hook it up to like a iPad or something like that.
Goes on your hot shoe.
Is that Cam Ranger.
Is that like a Kickstarter thing?
I don't know if it started on Kickstarter or not, but I know you can like set it up on your hot shoe, but then you have to obviously have a PC sync cable or whatever that goes to your camera. But then the other end, it's all wireless, and so like the receiver end like plugs into like an iPad or something, and then you have your monitoring right there.
Damn, that's gangster. I never heard of that.
That sounds way faster.
I think it's called Cam Ranger.
Cam Ranger?
I think so. Yeah. I just saw it being. I mean, I've heard of it before. I think I just saw it recently on like an F-Stoppers video that they did. Like they were shooting like some house for like a competition or whatever. But
I'll just say like fuck. If anybody out there is listening to this that knows about a technology that can do that, whichever it is, which is Cam Ranger, or if it's what Keem was talking about and it's a little bit faster, please let us know.
Right.
Drop a comment down below.
We would all love it.
Cam Ranger, shoot us some free gear and we'll
comment, like, and subscribe.
Smash that like button.
Real quick, let's talk about your past. Do you have any like influences that influence your style, or did you kind of just figure it out on your own and you did your own thing?
So, I mean, I actually have a lot of photographers I follow on Instagram. For a while there, I got to the point where I like purged my entire like following list, and I started just following just pages that inspired me. Obviously, that kind of went to shit, and I follow a bunch of bullshit accounts. But like
he follows me now.
No, I follow a bunch of meme accounts now. I just all day. But no, so like some people that I take. Not, I wouldn't say influence, but I really look up to right now. There's this guy out there. I think he's based in LA. His name's Steven Finasco. He does a bunch of dope work, portrait and like street style type stuff. Another guy who's kind of the same realm as him is this guy named 13th Witness.
13th Witness.
He's dope.
I haven't heard his name for a minute.
Yeah,
that's the guy who got me into photography.
Yeah, he does a lot of like street stuff too. Super dope work. I think he's based out in New York. And then, other works, I have a bunch of like music photographer people that I look up to, and I have a lot of friends who are in that industry and whatnot. And then there's a wedding photographer called Gabe McLintock. Amazing work. Like he's to the point now where he started. I feel like he started like the Iceland craze, with everyone going out to Iceland to shoot everything. But his work and the colors he does is just amazing. And then there's
do they also shoot black and white, or are they also color?
Most people that I've said right now do both.
Do both? Okay.
Yeah. And then there's this other girl. I think her name is Candace something, but her username on Instagram is like the Blissful Maven or something like that. She does like really moody couple portraits, which is always dope. And she shoots a lot of like black and white too. those are like my main influences right now. I'd say, you know, coming from like a photography.
Dang, I'm checking out the Blissful Maven right now.
Yeah,
it's crazy,
dude.
Like,
check out Gabe McLintock.
I noticed she lowers her highlights a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What's his name? Dave.
Gabe.
Yeah,
Gabe.
Gabe.
Yep, McLintock. MC.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
Spell it out for the people who are listening so they can see
little pop up.
Yeah, pop it up.
Dang.
Yeah, I found him a while ago. There's another guy actually that I've been loving his work. Diego, gosh, I can't think of his last name.
Yeah.
But he shoots with like these like LED lights behind all of his models, and it looks fucking sick, dude. Like they're like all silhouette type shots. But they're all like, you know, they're almost like the just like these LEDs that he can change like the colors and whatnot. I'm like, they're like RGB LED light bars, and they look dope. The stuff he's doing with that. And then video wise, I mean, there's a few people I follow from like overseas, you know, like wedding filmmakers and whatnot. Like,
so right now, are you more photo or more video, or is it half and half in this spectrum?
I'd say more photo right now. I do a lot more photo shoots than anything. I mean, I love doing video. Video was always my first love, obviously. Yeah. You know, going back to, you know, my middle school, high school days. I just find like when it comes to video, like I want to shoot stuff I want to shoot, you know, and most of the time nowadays it's more so music videos. And so I mean, I've got a few people that, you know, a few videos like in the works and whatnot.
But there's a lot more to it than just...
Yeah.
I can go shoot a music video. Like, people are like, I'm going to go shoot a music video. But it's like, no, I want this music video to be exactly what I'm trying to...
Right. And what's hard about music videos is, at least in, like... Because right now, like, I shoot a lot of music videos, like, in, like, the hardcore metal pop-punk type scene, you know?
Videos.
So it's a lot of smaller local bands. Obviously, you know, I don't expect them to have, like, the bigger budgets, you know? But one thing is, you know, for me personally, and... anything I'm going to attach my name to, you know, and not to dog on people or bands that are just getting started, you know, but like if I'm producing something like a music video, I really like want to be able to like be a fan of that band and a fan of that song.
Yeah, that's what we just talked about.
It's funny because we always talk about that, like, because a lot of people, you know, they hit us up and I'm like, damn, I'm not really feeling your music. And this isn't no offense to you.
Yeah.
I just might not like your type of music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I can't edit well if I'm not
No, exactly.
I can't even shoot that well.
You can do it, but it's not fun.
It's
and
not.
I want to have
be
fun. It's a passion project, so I'm not getting really anything out of this to that extent. So I want it to be fun for me all the way through.
I feel like it's not gonna be a actual representation of your work.
Yeah.
If you're not feeling it, you know what I mean. Like you're just gonna get sloppy with it, and it's gonna come out bad.
100%.
Whether it's paid or unpaid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So that's what I love. Like, so right now, like, you know, the main people I work with, you know, I work a lot with this band called Words from Aztecs. They're like a hardcore band, metal band. But I've done almost all of their videos, you know, but they're just like, they're some of my best friends, you know, and they always come into it with such good attitudes, you know, and always have like the dopest ideas, you know, and we just feed really well off each other, and with being a fan of their music, you know, it just we vibe really well and everything.
Yeah.
Another group, my friends and a friend of foe, I've worked on a few videos with them, and one of their members, Matt and Juan, their lead singer, and Matt, their guitar player, they're both very visually creative as well, you know, and they do their own video work stuff, and Matt kills it when it comes to editing. Like that dude is like, I'm like, damn, dude, some of the shit he pulls off, I'm like, how'd you do that, man?
Damn, that's
like, let me see that Premiere file real quick, you know. You know,
get some of it.
But then it's just so cool because like when we all come together on something, you know, like some of the shit that we make is like some of my favorite, even if it's a couple years old, you know, at this point.
Do you prefer to edit your own projects, or do you prefer just to shoot it, or is there like a role that you prefer to have when you're involved in a music video?
It changes project to project, to be honest.
Okay.
I really like editing the videos most of the time. There's some times where I get to a point where I'm like, all right, I'm not feeling creative on this. So if I know someone else can take it on and like really do it justice, then I'm fine with passing it off. You know, there's also been projects where like, hey, I just want to shoot this. If you have an editor, you know, you can send it off to, then awesome. I'll help shoot. You know, I'll play the role of a amateur DP, you know, or whatever. You know, I can't direct worth a shit, you know, but you know, I can work a camera and you know, see the lighting and things like that. But most projects, I'd say though, I shoot and edit most of them and see them to completion.
Yeah, I've had people that hit me up and they're like, oh, let's just shoot something real quick.
Yeah.
Just bring your camera, like, you know. I was like, no.
See, I also love though when I can have an idea and then I have friends who like, hey, I know you do this project. Would you mind? I have this idea. Will you let me shoot it? I'll do it for free, basically. You know, and they're like, yeah, let's do it. So like, I just shot like my first rap video not too long ago.
Ooh.
And like, I just had this idea. I was watching a lot, like, I was really into like Kendrick Lamar at the time, you know. So I was watching a bunch of Kendrick Lamar videos, you know. So I was like super like inspired and whatnot. And so I hit up the group, you know, the rap group. I was like, hey, this is what I want to do for your video. You guys down to let me shoot it? Like, yeah, we got a perfect song for it, you know. And so we did that and released it a while ago now. But I was pretty.
I was gonna say, it's out? Yeah,
it's out.
Okay.
It's called Powerbox Joints.
Let's play it.
Powerbox
play
Joints.
It right now.
Play it right now.
Wait, can we? Do we have that power?
Can you bring it up on your phone? Sorry. Soon.
What do you mean?
Soon. Uh-oh.
Oh, you can't do it on the live stream?
Huh?
You can't do it on the live stream?
We can do it, but I gotta set it up.
Oh, it's all good. We'll check it out after. Go find that link in the description.
There you go. That's a good way.
Powerbox Joints by the group 5001.
Okay.
5K1. They're pretty.
I'll have you send it to me too, just so I can make sure it's the right one.
Yeah. So I mean, that was like my first little rap video that I did, and I'm pretty proud of it. You know, it's pretty cool. They're all cool guys. It was fun to make.
Yeah. So if you're on YouTube, it'll be down in the description. If you're listening to this, what happened? Oh, it's your camera. No worries, bro. So, okay, well, the camera's... Sorry, guys, we're having a little technical difficulty right now. Did the camera turn off?
I don't know. It might have overheated.
Really? It's not even recording.
Yeah, but...
That's the thing about Sony's, too, man. Sony's, like, one of the downsides is especially the A7R2.
Yeah.
It overheats, man.
Yeah, my A7S2. It overheated once. It was at Scars and Stripes, the music festival that was downtown a while ago. Anyways, I was shooting in the middle of a set, like in the first bands, like during the day, and maybe got halfway through their set, and then it just shut off. And I'm like, fuck. Like, this is not good, because luckily I didn't have to actually shoot, like, I was only supposed to shoot the headliner, but I was just kind of shooting my friends who were like opening like in the middle of the day, so it wasn't that big of a deal, and it was fine at night. But I was like, that was the first time I've had it like shut off on me like midway through shooting. I'm like, oh,
was it hot outside?
Yeah, it was pretty
Did
hot.
it have like that little temperature thing where it was like saying, and we're good, by the way? But yeah, like...
Yeah. So it started with like the little temperature gauge or whatever. And then but it just got to a point where the shutter wouldn't even go off. But it was still on, but I couldn't shoot anything.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then it got to the point where it just completely shut off.
That's why I love...
And then it went turn back on. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah, you kind of have to like put it... You have to cool it down, man.
Yeah.
That's why I like the FS5 that we have. The FS5... Bro, it's a tank. It's like a freaking...
Because, bro, it has fucking fans on it. You know, it has actual fans built into it, so it's not, like, gonna, like...
And the battery will last you a whole day.
All day.
Really?
You know, yeah.
Oh, they're like the big fat
Yeah,
Sony
they're like that big, bro. Like freaking, you know, juice packs.
Yeah.
Juice boxes.
That's what I use to, like, power, like, my LED lights and, like, I have, like, a little Adamus, like, Shogun or whatever, you know? And throw on some fat Sony batteries on that thing, and it'll run for hours.
That's one thing we got to try. The small HD Focus has a Anton Bauer battery on it, and it also has a port that you can actually like daisy chain your A7 camera basically to.
You know, I think I've seen that actually. I think my buddy Billy has that actually, and it works really well. He has it set up. I don't know how long it lasts, but he has it like. Then he has like the little like clamp or whatever, so he hangs it off his gimbal, you know. So it looks legit.
So one thing I'll say too is like when you're shooting music videos and everything, like do you have any motivation such as like cinematographer, like in the realm of like Spike Jonze? I know I say both the Spikes, but Spike Jonze and Spike Lee, like they really do like motivate me.
So kind of like the same thing with like my photos. I don't really follow like any like. There's like maybe 2 music video directors I actually follow, but other than that. When I go before going into a shoot, I usually go to YouTube and I have like 3 different playlists, you know, private playlists I have where I just save certain videos, like because there's certain things I like about those videos. And sometimes what I like to do is when the band sends me the song that they want to do, you know, I'll play that, but then I'll play like a video that I think might fit and I'll just mute it, you know, and like kind of get a vibe for it. But there's this guy out of LA named Darren Miller. Darren Miller Films, I think, is his Instagram. But he does a bunch of dope, like, high budget music video stuff for like Chris Brown and a bunch of other like big artists. And then the other one is this guy. I don't know his actual name. I just know him by his company name is Naughty Mantis Films or something like that. And he actually plays in a band. He's like a drummer for like a touring band or whatever. But he's like directed and like produced like all of their newer music videos, and is on point, dude. Like visually just awesome stuff. Like anything by The Plot and You that's like more recent.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff that he's doing with them. So
have you ever heard of Jacob Owens?
I have not.
Jacob Owens is a DP, producer, director, editor. Like he's one of the people that I first started following when I started doing music videos, because we basically started around the same time, like 2012, 2013, doing music videos. And he was one of the dudes that was on YouTube, like really producing these rap videos for these, little to no budget, but the way he shot it, the way he edited it, it made it look hype. Yeah. So he's one of the dudes that I originally started following. We got to get him on the podcast, bro. We got to see if we can get him on here.
Yeah, Jacob Owens will be on here.
Yeah.
We'll pay him.
Coming soon.
$200.
Yeah, but yeah, I feel you. There's because everybody's different in how they shoot it, so you can't really say, like, it's not like photographer. You can say, oh, I like the way this photographer does it, because everybody,
And a lot of times I get on set and then I fucking wing it, dude.
Hey.
Like I go into it thinking,
that's like my whole life, bro.
I go into it thinking, all right, I'm gonna use the gimbal on 90% of this shoot,
it's like, nope.
And then I end up hand holding for the whole shoot, or some shit like that.
But that's how you kind of know you've reached that next level. Because I can personally say, realistically, I still get a little bit too influenced by the outside world. So when I'm shooting stuff, I think of like, oh, it has to be perfect. It has to be this, and then I'm like, I have to like step back and be like, yo, what? Wait.
But see, that's where
Let
I
me
wish.
do me.
Yeah,
Let me
no,
do me.
and I feel that. I feel that hard, But sometimes I wish I would have like been in the gotten into the industry, and been on like actual legit like shoots, like these higher end, like higher artists. See how they produce it,
Because you're seeing a different level. Because this is just any. I don't want to say it to like belittle anybody or any of us, but any Joe Schmo can pick up a camera and say, I'm a filmer, I'm a director. But when you actually see somebody. And that's why I say Spike Jonze, because I see his stuff since I was a baby. I've been looking at his work, you know what I mean? And not even knowing who he was. But, like, he always was outside of the circle, trying new things. And that's what, like, super inspired me.
I really like his commercials.
I can just say one thing, though. Like, personally, like, I don't think I've reached the level of, like, my true creativity. I'm still learning a lot. You know what I mean? And I feel like, I want to learn a little bit more before I finally say, like, ooh, I want to try this and try that. But that's also to the same place that we were talking. Sometimes the capital's not there. Yeah. And you can't get your true vision out. Like, you seen that Apple commercial. You know, they made, like, a whole entire set to what
it was like
Spike Jonze is thinking.
Have you seen that one?
Is that the one where it was
the house moves
with figs? With figs?
I've seen that. Yeah.
Or what? Twig? Or Figs? What's her name? Twig? What's her name?
What are you talking about?
FK group? Twigs? FK, the girl who was dancing.
Oh, I don't know
her singer.
Her name.
She's a singer.
Oh, is she?
I completely butchered her name.
I think I saw like the BTS on that on Pitapixel or some shit like that. Yeah. And that's how I know about it.
That's the kind of projects I want to work on. Like,
I think it'd be dope to be on set for something like that. But yeah,
I think the problem with a lot of creatives too is they feel like they don't want to work on projects until they can get to that level. I'm like, yo, you're not gonna get there.
But you gotta learn that. You gotta learn before you get there. Because trust me, Spike Jonze wasn't doing that when he first started. He was probably picking up the camera, filming dumb shit. Like
sometimes I feel like I should be like further along though than what I'm at.
I feel you.
For as much as I have done,
here,
not to say. I mean, I'm always looking. When to my next shoe, I always want to be the best one.
But you want every single.
I feel like with most of my shoots, I feel like I've kind of like plateaued a little bit, and I'm like, damn, dude, like how do I raise this up? And I know it's more of like a self-discipline thing, because a lot of times I show up on shoot, and then I ditch everything I was gonna do, like I was saying. But then sometimes, it just doesn't work out how I thought, and so like. I don't know if it's a mental thing where I just feel like, at the end, I'm like, damn, I could have done a lot more.
Truly, I love you saying that, you know what I mean? Because it makes me feel a little bit comfortable, because I feel like I'm the same way. I'm like, let me try a little bit more tonight. And then I'm already like tired, and I go there and I just do the same formula I'm used to. And I'm like, damn, do I really want to do this? And then I start questioning myself, like, is this me? Is this really what I want to do? Right. But I guess it's just anybody, probably any director would even say, because I watched, I think Quentin Tarantino, like they had his first film ever, and they showed it.
Oh, I saw
forgot
that.
where was it, like a documentary?
Yeah, it was on YouTube. It was
Bro,
like
it was pretty.
I think it was black and white, right?
It was pretty shitty.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wow, like yeah, everybody starts from somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know what you're supposed to talk about. Every project I ever worked on has been amazing.
Straight fire.
I sometimes I don't even record and it comes out fire, bro.
Damn, dude.
Like sometimes I leave the lens cap on and I'm like, damn, that looks dope.
Damn, sometimes
It's
you
that
don't,
film grain.
you don't even shoot to the SD card, you know?
I
You
like
just-
it. I like it.
Exactly. So breaking it down, because I think we're hitting the 1 hour mark now at this point.
Damn, that was quick.
Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, conversation.
That wasn't too bad.
1 hour 2 minutes. Not bad.
You
Whoa.
made it. You made it to the hour, bro.
Yeah, bro. That's how interesting you are.
There you go.
I don't think I'm that.
I hit
And
10
we could-
minutes, bro.
And we can easily ramble on for like another hour.
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
bro.
Well, so for me, whenever I just start talking about cameras though, and like filming,
all
you know,
day.
and
It's hard to stop.
it's hard to stop, man. And you know, I think that's when you hit your true creative.
That's
It's
your
when-
passion,
when
bro.
it's your
That's
passion.
your-
You can just talk about it, you know.
That's
Yeah.
your lifeblood, man.
Yeah.
I feel
Literally.
I feel like I'm that way with photography, video, and like now at this point is Bitcoin. I bring it into every single conversation.
Hey man,
bro. I'm becoming
after
guy.
that 88 Nate, you know, podcast where I was like, man, I should look into.
Oh, you listen? Good
Yeah,
shit,
oh,
man.
yeah.
Respect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Did you check out the music video that we shot? What's it called?
Gold?
Digital
Digital
Gold.
Gold?
So I haven't checked out the music video yet. I know he was talking about
Dude,
it, but
we literally like
Went outside?
we just went outside my house. Like,
Oh,
here's
really?
the thing. I've done music videos where I'll like plan it out, I'll storyboard it, I'll shot
Yeah.
list it. I'm like,
See, I've tried that
I'm like
too, and
so
it doesn't-
dedicated.
it fucking works.
And then we shoot it, and like was one of the projects I actually worked on with him. We
Yeah.
did all that, bro. And then the footage got corrupt, so it ended up going nowhere. We shot that like 2 years ago.
What movie? What music video
It was
was
Mama's
that for?
Whip. Mama's Whip.
Oh, wow.
It was a song where it was
That shit
glorifying.
hurt my soul.
It was a song where it was glorifying driving it, like all the people that like basically just drive their mom's cars everywhere. You know what I mean? But anyways, we'll do something like, and if we upload a video like that, it'll get like 200 views, 300 views.
Yeah.
But then it's like we show something like that that's just random. We just went outside the house. I put my A65 on a Ronin,
Yeah.
and I just walked around him as he's rapping, bro.
Yeah.
It's got to have at least 500,000 collective views at this
Yeah,
point.
bro. It's pretty,
Really?
Yeah.
It, like on Facebook realm, like I know for a fact, bro. I seen the video like at 300,000. That was just on Facebook.
Yeah.
So in the YouTube realm, I think that was like another 100,000. And who else knows like where it's
Yeah.
been
Shared on
rolling, like
Reddit and all that stuff.
shit.
Yeah, I started getting there's this website called Steam It where people can upload videos and you basically, depending on how many views, it's like YouTube, and how many views or clicks you get on it, you actually get paid a cryptocurrency for it.
Really?
And somebody uploaded it and it had like a couple tens of thousands of views. And I was like, damn, someone got paid for something I did for free, bro. Like I'm salty.
Damn.
And if you ever look,
Wait,
up
so they don't verify like if you're the original creator or not?
I don't think so.
maybe, bro.
No.
You have to look into it, dog.
Hey, man,
don't say no until you actually look into it, and you can be
Well,
like,
if the-
"That's my copy."
If there's a
that's my-"
check waiting for me, I'll gladly take it.
The check ain't gonna wait to you until you go look and see if there's some
That's true.
copyright infringement on that shit.
There's a lot
man.
of holes in crypto right now. We're still working it out, you know?
Yeah, because it's funny. The thing about that streamer site, everybody gets paid, from the commenters to the people who
Really?
like
Yeah.
the video. It's
Yeah.
sick, and you can post anything like music. Definitely look it up. I was like,
Yeah.
see, this is the future.
Well, I'd be curious though, like where do they get the money? Like where's the funding come from to pay out all this?
It's an entire ecosystem. I could explain it, but that's another episode. for
Yeah,
another
yeah,
day.
yeah.
It works.
Crypto.
It works.
Crypto's nice, but I don't want to get too into it because somebody did talk to me today. How would, when Bitcoin gets to that point,
Yeah.
how is it going to be audited by taxes?
What do you mean?
Like, okay,
When
let's
Bitcoin
just
gets
say
to what point?
we keep trading Bitcoin all day long and we're paying each other out with Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
When's the day? Well, how does it get taxed? It can't get taxed until you change it into dollar bills.
Yeah,
so
there's no way to
let's just say
currently
we
tax
keep
it.
trading in Bitcoin all day long.
Yeah.
How
then
does
then
how
you're
does the
completely-
government come in and be like, hey, we're gonna tax
They
this? You know
can't.
what I mean?
It's not
Okay.
trackable.
Right now, but they will.
Right
figure
now,
it
yeah.
out.
It's period. You can't track it. I mean, you can tell it's in your wallet. They don't know which wallet belongs to what person. So there's no way unless you cash it out.
Mm-hmm.
If you decide to cash it out, good luck, buddy. Because there's like a whole. If you want to do it the legal way, you gotta do tons of paperwork per transaction.
Then what's the point, man? What's the point of if you can.
Well, you could still do it. It's just under the table. Like if you had like $100 that you wanted to flip, make it $300-$500, you could, and nobody would ever bat an eye because it's still new. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of like when like YouTube, you can upload any video as long as you maybe change the pitch of it. There's really no
increase it by
1.3%.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. So there's really no repercussions.
It's funny because I've done that with the song that I Shazam it. I'm like, does it get Shazammed?
Right.
Nope. I'm good.
Yeah, I've done this like
Because
like wedding videos, you know,
Yeah.
before like sites like the Music Bed and things like that, you know, using like popular ass like videos or songs, you know, throw them in the video. Vimeo flags it. I'm like, fuck, you know, I can't send this off because now there's no audio. Boop. You know, so just re-export it with like the audio, you know, slightly a little bit faster. And
I've had videos uploaded to YouTube, and then like they'll forcibly remove the audio and replace it with like some kind of like dandy song.
That corporate fucking music.
Corporate jingle.
Music bed. Or
Music bed.
Premiumbeep.com.
All right, so wrapping up this podcast, what words of wisdom can you give our viewers right now that are maybe upcoming in the game or kind of have watched this episode and you know they're digging what you're doing and they kind of want to follow in your footsteps? What advice can you give to somebody who's watching?
So, on a serious note, I guess I'd say just don't give a shit about what anyone thinks.
Yes.
Just do you. Who cares if you go through different phases of, you know, what your edits look like, things like that. As long as you love it, it's cool, man. Just keep on doing it. Don't chase the numbers as much as I personally want that 10K so I can get the swipe up feature on Instagram. You know, I just learned, you know, like it'll happen if it happens, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I'm not going to try to force it anymore. I'm almost like this close to giving up on even like hashtagging anything anymore, you know.
Yeah, I went through a phase myself too where I'm just like,
yeah.
Dude, I'm tired of this.
Especially since like recently I almost hit like 2K finally, and
Congrats.
Then I lost like 13 followers. I'm like, fuck this, dude. So now I'm back to the point where I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Chase the vision, don't change
exactly.
the...
Because when that was happening, dude, I like spammed my account, dude. I was like, all right, I'm going to post like 3 photos a day. You know, I did that for like a week. And then I lost like 13 followers. I'm like, all right, well, I'm just going back to doing what I was doing, you know, and, you know, see what happens. I mean, that's I guess the serious advice I'd give is, you know, do your own thing, you know.
Follow your heart.
Yeah.
Literally.
You know,
like, as funny as that
and
sounds.
then a second word of wisdom is, you know, this is something that I learned. I was told when I was very little at a skate park. Some random homeless guy came by, and me and my friends were just skating around some scooters, and he goes, when you go swimming, never forget a towel. And it just stuck with me. So always take a towel with you when you go swimming.
Dang, stay dry.
Stay dry.
I don't think you gotta worry. I don't think you gotta bring a towel with you when you go swimming in Vegas, bro. You
You're
gonna dry off.
You can just
10
sit on.
seconds.
You can sit on a bed and just dry in like 10 seconds.
As soon as you get out of the pool, like it's
that advice has
shriveled.
been voided, bro. That advice no longer works in 2018.
But on the East Coast, yeah, bring a towel.
Well, yeah. Come.
Or a
I'm
moist
originally from
area.
Washington, you know, so there it's always
nice.
raining, you
Yeah.
know. But you know, every time you go swimming, you always gotta bring that towel, you know.
And you heard it here first. Bring a towel. All right, y'all. Thank you very. Where was I going with that? Thank y'all for tuning in to the morning dinner. We've had Tylor Thuirer. Let's pronounce that right?
Yeah.
And I'll go ahead and post all his stuff down in the description, show notes, if you're listening to this on just, you know, iTunes or YouTube or whatever. That way you guys can check them out. But yeah.
Every time I come in the kitchen, you in the kitchen, in the goddamn refrigerator.
I sure am hungry.